Welcome, everybody. This is GleeCon, and we are here to start the final chapter the final episode in the first chapter of Chronicles 1, The Will of the Void, where we talk about what the Void Lords have been after all along, and how the Titans react to that. Here we go. As the Pantheon searched for slumbering world souls, Sargeras and Agrimar continued their hunt for errant demons. The two champions agreed that they could protect more worlds if they worked apart, only calling on each other for aid in times of dire need. Thus they went their separate ways. It was during this epoch that Sargeras discovered the full horror of the Void Lord's plans. He was drawn to a remote corner of the Great Dark, where cold void energies radiated out from a black and desiccated world. There, Sargeras found enormous beings he had never seen festering across the world's surface. These were the old gods, and they had embedded themselves in the world and shrouded it in a veil of void energies. With growing horror, Sargeras realized that this was not just any world. He heard the world soul dreaming within its core, but these were not the joyous dreams Sargeras recognized from other world souls. They were dark and horrific nightmares. The old god's tendrils had burrowed deep, enveloping the slumbering Titan's spirit in shadow. A conclave of Nathrezim had also discovered this black world. They came to dwell among the old gods, basking in their dark power. Sensing their evil, Sargeras captured and ruthlessly interrogated the Nathrezim. The broken demons revealed what they had learned about the old gods and the intentions of the Void Lords. If the powers of the Void succeeded in corrupting a nascent Titan, it would awaken as an unspeakably dark creature. No power in creation, not even the pantheon, could stand against it. In time, the warped Titan would consume all matter and energy in the universe, bringing every mode of existence under the Void Lord's will. Sargeras, the undefeated champion of the Titans, knew fear for the first time. It dawned on him that just as the Pantheon had been searching for world souls, so too had the Void Lords. Sargeras had never dreamed that void energies could so utterly consume a slumbering Titan, yet the proof was right before his eyes. Rage and anguish burned through Sargeras' soul. He smote the Nathrezim with a single blow, his fury so great that he utterly obliterated the demons' forms. Sargeras turned his attention to the black world itself. His heart ached with sorrow, for he knew there was only one way to stop the Dark Titan from rising. With a heave of his blade, Sargeras split the world in two. The resultant explosion consumed the old gods and their energies, but it killed the nascent Titan as well. Sargeras immediately returned to the rest of the Pantheon and summoned Agrimar to his side. Before the gathered Titans, Sargeras recounted his discoveries. The other Pantheon members were stunned by what they had learned, but even more so by Sargeras' rash action. They chastised him for so needlessly killing one of their kin. Had he called on their aid, they argued, they could have purged the world soul of corruption. Although Sargeras tried to convince them that what he had done was necessary, he came to realize it was futile. The other Titans had not seen what he had seen. They would never understand why he had taken such drastic measures. Apart from Agrimar, the other Titans had no first-hand knowledge of the Void or demons. They could not fathom the depths of such malice and corruptive power. Heated arguments flared between Sargeras and the rest of the Pantheon concerning how best to deal with the threat posed by the Void Lords. Above all, Sargeras feared that if the old gods had corrupted one world soul, they might have corrupted many others as well. It might be too late to stop them. Sargeras expressed his growing fear that existence itself was already flawed, an idea that he had come to terms with following his encounter with the old gods. Only by burning away all of creation could the Titans stand a chance of thwarting the Void Lord's ultimate goal. In Sargeras' mind, even a lifeless universe was better than one dominated by the Void. Life had taken root in the cosmos once before. Perhaps after the physical universe was scoured of corruption, life would take root once again. This idea horrified the rest of the Pantheon. Eonor, the Lifebinder, reminded Sargeras that the Titans had sworn to protect living things whenever possible. Nothing could be so dire as to warrant systemic extinction. Even Agrimar stood against his mentor, arguing that there must be another way to defeat the Void Lords. He urged Sargeras to abandon this dark plan and reason out another solution. Overcome with despair and feelings of betrayal, Sargeras stormed away from the other Titans. He knew full well that his kin would never see reason, and if they would not help him expel the Void Lord's corruption, then he would do it himself. This was the last time the Titans of the Pantheon would see him as one of their own. Alright, so that brings us to the end of Chapter 1, and we see this cool picture of Sargeras destroying that corrupted world soul, that entire world. We also kind of see that Sargeras has become a villain, although he does have a justification. He's been through a lot, killing all of these demons and void lords on their own, on his own, or just him and Agrimar. So, and it probably did some psychological turmoil to have to kill a fellow Titan. So it's understandable how he goes the way that he goes. It's also interesting to see the Nathrezim again here, and how they're worshipping the old gods. And what's their end game? How would they benefit from all matter in the universe being absorbed into one mega dark Titan? So pretty neat stuff, and it will lead us into where we go from here when we get to Chapter 2. I look forward on exploring that with everybody, and I appreciate you listening, and I appreciate your time. Everybody have a good one. See you next time.